Hello and welcome. Today I am returning to the Sherwood game released by the French company Historicone in their Norman Saga series, and I am going to play the second scenario, which is called The Wedding of Alan Dale. It is a continuation of the Adventures of Alan from the scenario 1. As you probably remember, in the scenario 1 Alan was caught by the sheriff's men and took into prison. While he was imprisoned, father of his beloved girl Mildred decided that he has something to do with his daughter, and he decided to marry her to the old potbelly sergeant Martin. And after Alan left the prison, he found out that his girlfriend is going to be married to one of the sheriff's men. He had to do something with this, so he talked with his friend Robin Hood and asked him for help. And Robin agreed. And they found out that Mildred, Alan's girlfriend, is going to be married in the certain chapel, and Valoran, the corrupted bishop, is going to conduct this ceremony. So Robin and his friends decided to interrupt the ceremony and make Alan wed his beloved. So this is the background of this second scenario. It is based upon the stories pictured in the Merry Adventures of Robin Hood by Howard Pyle and one of the episodes of the Robin of Sherwood TV series from the 80s. So here we have a setup. This is another of these short scenarios that I would call a tutorial ones. It takes one board only, so it is pretty small, and only a limited number of units. But we have some new elements that we are gonna to see in this scenario. First of all, we have some firing units, so there will be missile combat as well. We have archers. Archers are... Let me zoom a bit. Archers are marked by letter A. Also, by the picture you can clearly see that Will Scarlet is archer, but he has an A here, so you can tell quickly that this unit can fire with a crossbow. With a bow. Because we have three types of missile weapons. We have bows, we have crossbows and javelins. We have no javelins in this scenario, but we have crossbow. Let me find out. Oh, here he is. This is Emmerich. He's one of the sheriff's men, and you can see that he has X here. This means that he uses crossbow. Crossbow and bow are firing in the similar way. There are some small differences between them. We will talk about it later when we will have opportunity to shot. But there is one more new thing we are going to mention, and this is armor. You can see that this guy has his defense factor in circle. This means that he wears an armor. This means that he has some better protection against arrows, but he will have problems when making any stuff that requires some dexterity, like climbing up and down the trees, walls, jumping off the trees or balcony, anything like that. He will get negative modifier +2 for such actions because he wears armor. And I think that's most of the stuff when it comes to the new rules. And now we will have to talk about this scenario because it is quite an interesting thing when it comes to the special scenario rules. Now, let's talk a bit about special scenarios. First of all, there is no fixed order of phases and turns in this scenario. Instead, the player who controls Mildred, who is Alan's girlfriend, is always player A. At the beginning of the game, she is controlled by sheriff's men. But if she is not adjacent to any of sheriff's men, then she can be moved by Robin Hood's player, and then Robin Hood is player A. So this is pretty important to control her, and if it will be able if it will be possible for Robin's men to free her from enemy, then it will be a major advantage for Robin Hood and his merry men. Next, another important thing is marriage, because to win this scenario, player has to marry his character with Mildred. And how to marry Mildred? To make a marriage possible, you have to have Mildred, her man, and Valeran, who is a corrupted bishop for Sheriff of Nottingham, or Friar Tuck for Alan, and then they have to spend one entire turn in this chapel without being involved in combat. So they cannot attack, they cannot defend, they simply have to marry each other. If they will succeed, the player who manages to make it is instantly victorious. But if no one will be able to marry Mildred, then there is a minor victory for Robin Hood's men. This means that Alan somehow managed to interrupt marriage, and he will wait for another chance to marry Mildred. Another important rule is the fact that we have two priests here. We have Valeran and Friar Tuck, and none of them can be attacked until they will attack someone else. This means that they are clergymen, so they are somehow protected. But if any of them will participate in attack, this protection vanishes and they can be attacked normally. Finally, if Mildred is wounded or killed, then the player who wounded or killed her is instantly losing the game. Next, when it comes to the setup, Valeran starts in the chapel, Sheriff's men enter the board from the edge 1, and Robin Hood's men enter the board from the edge 2. We have 12 turns to play. From judging on my own experience, it will never take these 12 turns. It usually takes a smaller number of turns. But how many turns? Well, it depends. I played this scenario 3 times, and sometimes Robin Hood's men were able to win in the 7 turns, and from the other hand, there was a time when Sheriff's men managed to win in the 9 turns. So this you cannot tell, but I don't think that any game might take full 12 turns. Okay, so let's start the game. In the turn 1, Sheriff's men have initiative, and Martin and Mildred are going in the shortest way to chapel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mildred goes like that, and Martin leads her to the chapel, so he moves forward. She's not struggling much. Well, he's strong and armed, so she's rather shy and timid girl. And now let's go to the other man. I think that I will take my Elmeric. He's my crossbowman, so he has a very dangerous weapon, but because he's armored, he has a movement value of 6, so he's definitely slower. So how should I place him? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry, I took wrong counter. This is Wounded Gibbo, and I need his full strength counter. Sorry for that mistake. Next, Finn. He goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, 8. Sorry, he cannot move that far. I would love to, but no, he cannot. and here we have Walker, and Walker decides to escort Martin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he will help his pal to marry Mildred. Okay, so that's all for the sheriff's men. There is no combat because there are no enemy units on board. So now let's go to the Robin Hood and his merry men. What are they going to do? First of all, I will move Little John. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In this game, you cannot fire in reaction. I take a look onto the advanced rules, and I found that there is something called defensive fire. So I believe that if you play this full version of Norman Saga, then your archers and crossbowmen may fire on the approaching enemies. But here in this game, in these basic rules, you cannot. I think this might be a major disadvantage for the missile units, because these crossbowmen would love to fire on the approaching Little John, who is not so little after all, and who would be a good target. Okay, but he cannot. So next, I will move Falco. He's not singing Rock Me Amadeus, definitely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He will take his position here, and to spray his arrows at anyone who is going to approach. Next, Friar Tuck and Alan are going to chapel. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I cannot enter the window now because I need 4 movement points to move through the window. So not a way for now. And Will Scarlet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he and Robin Hood are going to fight Finn, hoping that they will kick this bastard away, while Alan the Dale moves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He is going to sneak while his friends are fighting for him. Alright, so that's all for the movement phase, and next we have a combat phase. We have 2 combat to resolve. First of all, here, 9 versus 5, so it's +4. He's on the 3 hex, but 3 provides no protection, so we'll have to make a roll with +4 and 7. That was a pretty bad roll. This is nothing. So this archer managed to keep Little John away of him. And now Will and Robin are going to attack Finn. They have 15 versus 7, so it's +8. So it will be column 5, 9, and since we have 2 characters attacking 1, then we have +1 column shift. So it will be 10, 19 column instead. Let's make a roll, and it is 4. In the 10, 19, it is S, so he's stunned. And here we have an interesting case I would like to mention here. If he would be stunned only while fighting with 1 character, then another character would be able to attack him again while he is stunned, and there is a better chance to kill him now. But they both attacked together, so there is no chance for them to attack again. This is a choice you have to make when you are attacking. You can attack together and gain higher strength, also this modifier for 2 characters attacking, but you won't be able to attack again. Or you might try to attack with 1 character and having your chance to wound or stun enemy, and then to attack him again with another character. The choice is yours, of course. So that's all for the Robin's combat, and this concludes turn 1. So let's carry on with turn 2. Sheriff's men have initiative because Mildred is in control of the sheriff's men, so they can do their action first. We have missile fire phase, and the only character who can fire on the sheriff's men is Elmeric, but he's adjacent to the enemy unit. And when you are adjacent to the enemy unit, you cannot fire. So Elmeric can only fight against Little John or try to change his position. I think none of these situations are pretty good because, well, he doesn't want to be here, but from the other hand, he's pretty slow. So no matter he will run, Little John will probably catch him. So he decides to something else. He sees Gibbo hiding here and he calls, "Hey Gibbo, come help me with this big bastard." And Gibbo hears him and moves 1, 2, 3, 4, and they will try to attack Little John together. Next, we have Walker moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He will try to attack Alan. Like I said, he cannot attack Friar Tuck until Friar Tuck will attack anyone. And Martin moves with Mildred 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So she goes, they go into the chapel to have their marriage. But notice that Mildred is still not in the chapel. They need to get inside and spend the entire turn there without any combat. This might be hard. Alright, so that's all for the Sheriff's Man movement, since this guy is stunned. And now let's resolve their attacks. Walker attacks Alan. He gets 9 versus 3, so it's 6. Let's see. 6 in the column of 5, 9. 9 versus 3, yes, 5, 9. This is R1, so Alan retreats 1 hex, and Walker might advance if he wants to. He doesn't want to. He's happy where he is. And now Elmeric and Gibbo are trying to get rid of Little John. They have 6 and 10, so it's 16, versus 7, so it's 9. And he's in the scrap. Scrap has no use in combat. It can only provide some protection when during the missile fire. So no chance for them no chance for him to gain any advantage. They have total of 8, so the column is 5, 9, and they have +1 because they are 2, and he's 1. So the column is 10, 19, and we are making a roll. Oh, it's 9. So it's AR1. This means they are both retreating. "You cowards!" cries Little John, as they are running away, afraid of his big stick. Okay, and that's all when it comes to the combat phase. And Finn is back to normal because he was stunned. And now there is time for the Robin Hood's men to go. Well, none of them actually can fire, I believe. Why? Let's check. Robin is adjacent to Finn, so he cannot fire. Will is adjacent to Finn, so he cannot fire either. And Falco. Falco cannot see anyone. Well, he cannot see Walker. You can tell that these trees are on the way. And he cannot see Gibbo because this tree is on the way. And he cannot see Elmeric either. So no chance for him to hit anyone. That's bad. That's bad. I placed him in this position to spray his arrows at anyone, and it looks like he can't do much about it. So now let's go and take a look on Robin Hood's men movement. So Little John, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's going to attack Elmeric again. And Friar Tuck. I wonder if he should enter the chapel to interfere the marriage. I think this might be an option for him, so he does. He spends 4 movement points to move through the window, and then 1 movement point to go here. So he will try to stop Martin, but if he will do so, he will attack. And this means that he will be the enemy man will be able to attack him as well. Okay, so now I think that Falco is wasting his time here, so we might find a better job for him, like moving him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Alan with his harp will try to help him dealing with Walker. Okay, so that's all for the Robin's movement, and now let's resolve their attacks. Start with Little John. He has 9 versus 5, so it's +4. 1, good. This is W, so he's wounded. Oh, looks like we won't have much crossbow firing in this game. He's already wounded, poor guy. Next, Alan and Falco are attacking Walker. They have 11 versus 7, so it's +4, so it's 0, 4, and +1 because they are 2 and he's 1, so it is 5, 9. 5 in the column of 5. This is R1, so he retreats 1 hex, and Falco goes here and there, while Alan goes here. Next, Will and Robin are going to attack Finn, hoping they will be able to get rid of this nasty bastard. They have 15 versus 7, so it's 8, so it's 5, 9, +1, because they are 2, so it's 10, 19. Oh, they haven't much luck. It's 7, so this is R1, so he only retreats 1 hex, and Falco moves here, while Robin goes here and there. Okay, so I forgot about Friar attack. He has 7 versus 6, so it's +1, so it's 0, 4. Now this might be a risky attack, but he is lucky. It's 0, 4, so the Martin is wounded. Wow, that's something. Let me find a Martin wounded marker. Look, you can see he lost his helmet. Looks like Friar attack hit him in his head really hard. So that's all. I think that Robin's men are doing quite fine. So this concludes turn 2. No one is stunned on Robin's side, so we don't have to recover anyone. So let's continue. And now Sheriff's men still have initiative because they control Mildred, and now he cannot fire again because he's adjacent to the enemy. Nah, that's bad. And now Bishop Valoran sees that this nasty, dirty looking friar is attacking Martin, so he cannot just stay here and watch. He decides to join the combat. And what are you doing here, you fat friar? I am a bishop! And he will try to get rid of friar attack. Now Gibbo. Gibbo moves here because he sees Robin Hood taking position to fire at him, so he will try to get rid of him. Okay, so we will have a lot of combat to resolve now. I think Elmeric is not going to attack. He is, well, in the pretty dangerous situation. I think I should move him. 1, 2, 3, like that. Alright, so who is going to attack first? I think Gibbo. He has 10 versus 5, so it's 5, 9. And 5 in the 5, 9 is R1. So Robin is running away, afraid of his sword or spear. I think he's using spear. And Gibbo moves here. Now Finn attacks Will. He has +5 as well. And he was much more lucky. It's 2. So Will is wounded. Oh, that's not good. Where you have a Will is wounded. And next, Walker attacks Alan. He sees that he knows that Alan is dangerous because he probably arrested him before, but so he wants to get rid of this nasty Bart. And 9 versus 3, it is +6, and 6 in column of 5-9 is R1. So Alan runs away and seeks for shelter nearby this window, successfully avoiding any hits from Walker. And Walker stays here. And now Valerian and Martin are attacking Friar Attack together. They have 10 versus 4, so it's +6. Okay, this might be dangerous for our good old Friar Attack. Oh, 3. 3 in the 5-9. This means that Friar is stunned. Oh, you can see he's lying on the ground, rather on the floor. Okay, that's all for him. So next we have Robin Hood's men phase, and no one can fire. Oh, that's unlucky. But so you can see that Sheriff's men moved on the hexes adjacent to the enemy archers, knowing that if they will be involved in combat, then they won't be able to fire. That was pretty good movement. So now, what Robin men are going to do? I will move Little John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He wants to get rid of this Elmeric and help his friends. And Will is going to run away. He's wounded. 1, 2, 3, 4. Robin finds that he's pretty dangerous situation, because if they will attack him together, then it won't be good for him. So I wonder if I should run away with him as well. This might be a good idea, but from the other hand, this might be pretty risky to leave Little John alone with 2 and possibly 3 sheriff's men. Well, that's not a good situation we have here. Should I attack them? Well, there is a little chance that I will actually do something. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will go like that. And now Alan gets inside the chapel. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he goes like that. Okay, so now time to combat, to fight. We have Little John attacking Elmeric. We have 9 versus 2, so it's +7, so it's 5-9. And 2 in the 5-9 is wounded. So he was already wounded, so he's dead. So we have first dead man in the game, I believe. Yeah, I think he's done. And Little John can make an advance. 1, 2, 3. Do I want to make it? Well, 1, 2, 3, or maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay, and now Falco is attacking Walker. 7 versus 7 is 0. That's a pretty risky attack. And 2 in the 0. And Walker is stunned. That's good. And finally, Alan attacks Valerian. You filthy corrupted bishop. I will smash your head with my lute. 4 versus 3, it's +1. Oh! Looks like this nasty bishop has some tricks in his sleeve. It is attacker wounded. So Alan is wounded. Was he hiding some dagger or something? I don't know. But anyway, Alan is wounded. Okay, so now we have recovery phase, and Friar Attack returns to his senses. He sees his friend Alan wounded nearby. And what are you doing here, Alan? Oh, I was trying to help you, but you see, this nasty bishop hurt me really bad. Okay, so this concludes this turn. Yeah, this concludes this turn. So, Sheriff's men still have initiative since they control Mildred, so they can act first. And now, no one can fire because only this guy could fire and he's done. So, I think I will move Finn. 1, 2, 3, 4. He will try to get rid of Will Scarlet, and Gibbo will try to get rid of Robin. So they are moving here, and Martin will try to get... Martin is wounded, oh, and so they will try to gang on Friar Tuck. So that's what are they going to do. So let's resolve these attacks. 10 versus 5, so it's +5. And 9 in the 5-9, this is AR1, so he retreats 1 hex. That's bad. Will and Finn. 10 versus 3, so it's +7, so it's 5-9. And 6 in the 5-9, it is R1. So Will have to run away, and Finn goes here. And now, Martin and Friar and Valoran are attacking Friar Tuck. They have 10 versus 4, so it's +6, and they have +1 for two men attacking. So it is 10-19, and they get 3. So Friar Tuck is wounded. Oh, the situation is going complicated in this chapel. Okay, so that's all when it comes to the Sheriff's men attacks. And now let's go to Robin's men. And finally we have some opportunity to do some missile combat. So let's talk about missile combat first. We have 3 types of weapons that we can use in the missile combat. Bow, crossbow and javelin, and each of them can fire during the missile combat, but when you are firing with crossbow, you cannot move after your fire. First of all, you have to check if you have a line of sight. You have to draw the straight line from the center of the hex from which you are firing into the center of the hex you are firing at, and see if there are no obstacles on your way. There are 2 types of obstacles in this game: walls and trees. If your line of sight is drawn through any of these, your line of sight is blocked. And you cannot fire through the hexes with a man, both friendly or enemy. The only exception of this rule is that you are firing on the long range with a bow. This means in such a situation you can fire above the enemies or friends. In any other case you cannot. And if you are using a crossbow, you cannot fire through the other characters at any way. Next, you have to check if you are firing on the short or on the long range. For the bow, short is 10 hexes and long is 25 hexes. For the crossbow, short is 10 hexes, sorry, it's 15 hexes, and long is 30 hexes. And for javelins, we have no javelins in this scenario. It is 5 hexes for short and 12 for long. Now, when you know the stuff, you have to make 2 rolls. First for the hit, and then second for the damage. So let's try to make it. I will start with firing with Falco at Gibbo. He's firing on the short range because there is only 1 hex range between them. I mean there are 2 hexes. This is 2 hexes range, so 1, 2. And he's in the open ground, so we get no modifiers, because when you are firing when you are rolling for 2 hit, you are hitting the enemy if you roll 6 or lower, but there is a couple of modifiers. If you are firing on the long range, you get +2. If enemy is in the terrain that provides cover, there are certain types of terrain that provides cover, but he's on the clear terrain, so no cover for him, you get +2. If your archer is wounded, you get +1. And if you are shooting in the tree, you get another +1, but none of them works here, so we got straight shot. So Falco is firing. Oh, he got 8, so he missed. Okay, now Robin, he's firing at Finn. He hit, so now he has to make a roll for the damage. There are only 2 modifiers for damage. There is +2 if enemy wears armor, but only this dude wears armor and he's dead. And there is +2 if, there is -2 if you are firing with crossbow, but only this guy carried crossbow and he's dead. So no modifiers, we are making a roll. Ooh, that's pretty bad roll. And there are 2 different columns for the damage table, one for the infantry and one for cavalry, but we are firing at infantry, and 9, this is R2. This means that he has to retreat 2 hexes. So 1, 2. And that's all for Robin's men when it comes to the missile combat. Yeah, that's all. And now I found that I made a mistake. What kind of mistake? He was stunned, so he should be recovered at the beginning of his last phase. And because of that, Falco couldn't fire, because, he's adjacent to the enemy unit. Luckily, he failed to hit the Gibbo, so nothing seriously happened. Okay, so let's return, and sorry for that mistake. And now we can do our movement. So I think this is a good time for Robin and Will to come here and try to get rid of Gibbo. They will attack together, and now Little John. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or he can go here even. 7, 8. Oh well, alright. So he might help them to get rid of Gibbo. That would be good. Okay, Falco will try to fight with Walker, and Tak and Alan will try to get rid of this nasty bishop. So that's all for the movement. And now the question is if I want all of them attack together Gibbo, or if I want them to attack him separately. So I think this might be a good idea to make 2 different combats. So first of all, Robin and Will Scarlet are attacking him. They have 12 versus 7, so it's 5. So it will be 5, 9, and they have +1 because they are attacking together, so it will be 10, 19. So let's make a roll. And 3. 3 in the 10, 19 is W, so he's wounded. So let's take his marker. And now Little John can attack him again. He has 9 versus 4, so it's +5. Let's make a roll. And 2. So he's wounded again, so Gibbo is dead. Oh well, I should place his death counter. That's pretty good. They made it. Falco attacks Walker. He has 7 versus 7, so it's 0. This is going to be hazardous attack. And 2. Not bad. He's stunned again. Looks like Falco hit him in the head again. Now Friar Tuck and Alan are fighting with this corrupted bishop. They have 6 versus 3, so it's +3. So it's 0-4, but they are fighting together, so they get 1 column shift, so it's 5-9. 5-9 and 2. He is wounded. That's good. So Alan has his revenge. Alright, and this concludes this turn. So, I think Robin's men are doing their job pretty fine. no one is wounded. Sorry, no one is stunned. No one on the Robin side is stunned. That's good. Okay, it's time for Sheriff's men to go, since they still control Mildred. And, well, they seems like they are somehow outnumbered. Well, Finn is here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. He will try to attack Will, because Will is wounded, so he will be easier target for him. And Martin and Bishop will try to get rid of Friar Tuck. So let's see if they can. So 10 versus 3 is +7. 2. Good roll. It is wound W, so he's wounded again, so he's dead. Not bad. And now Martin and Valeran, they have 8 versus 2, so it's +6. Oh, I feel bad for old Friar Tuck. This is 10, because 0 is 10. This means, let me check, they have 8 versus 2, so it's 6, so it's 5, 9. This is AR1. So they have to retreat. Oh, hell! And they cannot. Why? Well, you cannot retreat through your own unit, and Mildred is blocking his way. You cannot retreat on the hex adjacent to the enemy unit. So they are both wounded. Friar Tuck literally slaughtered them. What a crazy friar. Sorry, I have to correct myself. I just found, I took check rules to make sure, and yes, you cannot retreat through the friendly units. So Martin runs away here, and Valeran, no, he cannot. So he's dead. So Friar Tuck took his revenge and hit him hard. Okay, so that's all. And now we have a recovery phase, so Walker is back to normal. Okay, it's time for Robin's men to go. And first of all, anyone can fire. Well, Falco cannot because he is surrounded by the enemies, but Robin can. They are both dead, but Robin can see Walker. So Robin wants to fire at Walker. He missed. That's bad. Alright, so now let's move. We get rid of this nasty bishop, but Mildred is still controlled by the enemy, and this is something we would like to get to do something about it, but it would be hard. I think I will move Friar Tuck here. And Martin is away. That would be hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I am moving adjacent to the enemy. 6, 7, 8. I will move like that, hoping that I will be able to get rid of this Martin dude. And now Robin and Little John. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's somehow of a domino here. And now Falco is attacking Martin. He has 7 versus 3, so it's +4. So it's 0, 4. It's 2 on the 0, 4, so he's stunned. And because he was already wounded, this means he's dead. And this is pretty good news, because of that, Mildred is now free. Alright, so now Robin and Little John are attacking Finn. They have 8 and 9, so they have 17 versus 7, so it's +10. And +1, because they are fighting together. This means they have 10, 9, +1, so it's 12, 20, 29 column. And 7 in 20, 29 he has to retreat one hex, but he cannot, because all the possible hexes of retreat are adjacent to the enemy units, and because of that he is wounded. Alright, and this concludes this turn, and notice that now Mildred is free, and because of that Robin's men are first to go. Okay, so now we can move with Robin's men, and this is an interesting situation because no one of them can fire. I mean, Falco cannot see anyone because of this corner, and Robin is adjacent to the fin, so he cannot fire as well. Alright, so all we can do now is to make our movement. So I will move Falco here. I will move Friar Tuck. I won't be moving Friar Tuck anyway. I will move Mildred here, and I will move Friar Tuck there. So they are going to have their marriage. Let's see if they will be able to do so. But first of all, let's resolve attacks. I will attack Little John and Falco against Walker. So I have 16 versus 7, so it's plus 9. So it's 5-9, and plus 1, because they are 2 versus 1. So this is 10-19. And 2 versus 10-19, he is wounded. So Walker is wounded. And now Robin is attacking Finn. He has 8 versus 4, so it's 0-4. And 3 in the 0-4. He has to retreat one hex, and he cannot, so he is dead. Alright, so now we have a Robin, Sheriff's man to go, and only Walker can do anything because all the other bastards are dead for good. Alright, so Walker, what can he do? Well, all he can do is attack Falco. He will, because he has 4 movement points, so he can only move here. So he attacks Falco. Oh wow, he made it 0. This means that Falco is wounded. Oh, where do I have Falco's wounded marker? Yeah, it's here. And that's all. And now, this is the end of the turn, and since they are all 3 together in the chapel and none of them had to fight, then Friar Tuck is able to make Alan and Mildred husband and wife. So they married, and we have a happy end. So that's all for this scenario. You can see that it was Robin's men had advantage. Well, they were pretty lucky with good die rolls, but like I said, judging on my own experience, I think this scenario prefers Robin's a bit more. They have a better situation, but I think that Sheriff's men have a chance to win. I managed to win with Sheriff's men for one time and made Martin marry Mildred, but I think that Robin's men have a higher chance to win in this scenario anyway. So that's all for this play. In the next scenario we will have much more complicated stuff because we have a bigger scenario with a bigger number of maps and some mounted units as well. But this is going to be in my next video. That's all for today. Thank you for watching and see you next time.